Good morning and welcome to today's show here on this Tuesday. I'm Lori Boyer, host of Morgan Matters here today. And joining me here in the studio with Rising Up is Executive Director Pam Hernandez. And you brought with you a board member, so I'll let you introduce your guest today.
Well, thank you, Lori, for having us. Today I brought Trish Moreno, co-founder and also board member of Rising Up.
Okay, so we're going to share the mic, and I'll just need you to talk, whoever's going to talk right into that mic when you get going. So, Pam, the last time we talked, which is a long time ago, I told you many interviews ago, fill us in on what you've been working on maybe since the early spring.
Well, last year at this time, we started a food pantry, a mobile food pantry, and we started providing food for people on the streets. We served about 25 people. We've been serving about 25 people every month. And then in January, we opened the warming center.
Okay, I remember talking about that.
We did. We opened the warming center. We partnered with United Methodist Church, and we are in their annex building. And we have been able to provide shelter. We provided 37 people over three months and
305 nights.
Over 305 nights. So we were able to provide people to get off the street for those 3 months, and we will start that again in November.
Okay, so good. It was successful enough to do it again.
Correct.
Let me ask you, were most of those people who visited or stayed in the warming shelter, were they from this area? I'm always curious to know, how people land here. So, Trish, if you want to answer that. Were most people from this area?
Actually, we had 21 residents from the area, and then we had 16 transients that we served through the shelter.
Okay. All right. So since then, what have you been working on?
So on June 1st, we opened the day center for Rising Up, and so people can get in and get a hot meal. We serve breakfast or share breakfast and lunch with our neighbors, and they can get out of the heat of the day. We're working on getting internet access so we can help them with connecting the dots to services and that kind of thing when they come in.
Where's that located at?
It also is in the annex building of the United Methodist Church. We were able to partner with them again for this season, so that's where we're having it, and it's provided a continuity for our neighbors to know where we're located at.
So what are the hours that people can take advantage of those services?
So we're open every Monday and Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're starting off that way and just seeing how it goes to see if we can increase the days that we're open. But right now we're starting with the 2 days a week.
Okay. And I'm assuming this is all volunteer driven because you have people there, right, that have to be there during the day to assist them.
Right, yeah. So Pam and I are there on a volunteer basis every day, and we've been seeing about 12 people every day, and always new faces that come into the center. So
okay. And Pam, would you say just in general, based on cyclical behaviors, if you will, do we see more people who are in need in the summer or the winter months?
That's a good question because we see a lot of people in the winter just because of the cold. But in the summertime, there's still quite a few people out there that just want to get out of the heat. Mm-hmm. And they need water or maybe a sandwich or anything. So I would say really the cold months, probably we see more, but there's still a high need in the summer as well.
You had mentioned at one point showers. Are you doing that as well?
We are. So if you know of someone or if there's someone on the street that needs a shower, they are able to come in and we're able to give them a voucher and they are able to go across the street to the armory and have a shower and be able to cool off or keep clean.
And I'm guessing that some of this would be, since Trish mentioned internet, maybe some job searching where somebody would need to take the shower.
Correct. And we find that with our clients, they need that extra help to connect the dots. They might have all these different appointments, but we need to help them see those through. So being able to get on the internet, check for jobs, since everything's internet anymore, and also look for a place to live possibly.
Yeah, that's a good point. So that's other things that Rising Up does is help people find living
We do.
places? I don't know what word I'm looking for. A place to live.
Place to live, correct. Well, and we were very successful with that because at the end of the warming season, out of the 7 people that were left till the end of March, half of them went into permanent housing.
Oh, well, that's good news.
Right. So we are successful in helping them,
That's really good
find.
news.
It is. It's positive. So we help them, whether to find a roommate or hopefully not do this too often, but to find a tent or, just someone that they can stay with for a few days.
Okay. All right. Trish, I should have maybe asked this earlier in the show because sometimes I just assume people know about what goes on in Morgan County, but then I always think, how can you not know what's going on in Morgan County? But, just depending on what world you live in. So, Trish, what exactly does Rising Up do? What is your mission and your goals?
So our mission is to help fight poverty, homelessness, and hunger in Morgan County. Our vision is to be the leading resource center for the homeless in our community. One of the things that prompted Pam and I to get Rising Up started was the closing of the shelter and knowing that we had people out in the cold and in the dangerous cold. So that was kind of what we started with. And we've always, since the beginning, said if we can't help 100 people, we'll help just one, and we'll do one at a time until we can make it bigger. And so that's kind of what we've done since the beginning.
Are you still doing your mobile food pantry right now?
Yes, we are.
So that's ongoing. So that's where you started with the organization, was there, and then eventually added in the warming center, and as Pam's mentioned, several different resources that go along with that. Is the ultimate goal to have another shelter?
That's the ultimate goal, is to have a permanent facility and a shelter. We don't know what that looks like yet. We just got our nonprofit designation in February. And so since then we were in the midst of the warming season and now the day center. And so it's just planning and seeing what opportunities are available, writing grants for a permanent location and that kind of thing.
We are visiting here with Rising Up. They are based here in Morgan County, and we have with us Executive Director Pam Hernandez and Board Member Trish Moreno, both joining us here today. And I guess I would be safe in saying co-founders of this organization.
Yes.
Okay. And so we've talked about the warming center you had over the winter, the day shelter or day center is going on right now to help people get out of the heat and provide resources, the mobile food pantry. Anything else you're doing that we're not aware of?
Nope, that about sums everything up that we're working on right now. So,
okay. How many people are on your board?
7.
We have 7.
Okay. All right. And as we mentioned earlier, all volunteer driven. So I'm guessing that's plenty going on right now.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And we couldn't do it without the volunteers. We have volunteers who bring in meals to both the warming shelter and the day center, and then just the volunteers that help with the grant writing and the day-to-day functions. And
so at this point in time, what do you need? What do you need to continue to do what you're doing from the community? So
what we're looking for now is meal providing at the center. If people want to bring in, we share breakfast and lunch. For about 15 people is what we plan on. And people can sign up, just give us a call and sign up to bring in meals. And we look for nutritious meals to give them something nutritious because they don't always get that.
And do you have children that come in too?
We have had some kids come in, but not a lot because of the other feeding programs in the community.
Okay, that's a good point.
I think that's where they're hitting the kids, but I think we've only had like one family come in.
Okay, all right, that's a good point. All right, so wrap up, Pam. Did you have any other things you wanted to mention or closing thoughts for us?
Just to mention, we are in the fundraising kickoff. So we are doing a few fundraisers. So just keep your eyes and ears peeled.
What is your next fundraiser?
We are planning some photo booths at several different
Oh, okay.
activities here in the community. We want to partner with the community, of course. And so we will be out and about, but just keep your eyes open. And if you're wanting to volunteer, please, give us a call. Trish said that's a big part. It is. We had over 50 people volunteer this last year. So,
Wow.
that's our community is pulling together because we have a need.
Mm-hmm.
So I just encourage people to contact us if, they would like to help out.
Okay. And how do we contact you?
Great point. You can call 970-370-8880 or stop Monday or Wednesday at the Annex Building at 527 State Street.
And I know you also have a Facebook page.
And we have
That's
a
how I
Facebook
contact you.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Thank you, ladies, for both coming in today. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
you.
Lori.
All right. Once again, Rising Up, Executive Director Pam Hernandez and Board Member Trish Moreno, representing the whole board of Rising Up and what they do for the community. We sure do appreciate. That is going to do it for today's edition of Morgan Matters. I'm Lori Boyer, and the show has been brought to you by FMS Bank.